What's up guys, it's Jay and it's time for some gaming news. First up today is that Nintendo, and more specifically the Wii U, have been hit with a bunch of bad news and setbacks lately, and I'm gonna try and go through them all here, so there's three major ones I want to talk about. First up is that a few days ago Nintendo released its operating losses for this year, and it has so far lost $387 million. This is no doubt due to the poor sales of the Wii U, and in fact poor doesn't really describe it, they've been selling absolutely awfully, but the 3DS sales have been fairly solid. Nintendo's president Satoru Iwata has said that he truly does believe the company will return to profitability in the near future. Most likely he's banking on Super Smash Bros. Working out really well as Bayonetta 2. But the fun doesn't stop there, there's also been a closure of a factory that was responsible for building and distributing the embedded DRAM that goes into the Wii U that had been defined as the lifestone of the console. The closure of the factory came because the Wii U was selling so slowly that the demand for these parts from the factory just started slowing down to the point where the company restructured and closed the plant. So it looks like Nintendo's going to be in trouble to have to find another company to make this DRAM for them, or else the Wii U could be in serious trouble. And finally, it's been reported that Nintendo's Wii U consoles are still being sold at a loss, despite the release of Pikmin 3, which actually got reviewed quite well. And you know, I've said it once and I'll say it again, Nintendo dropped the ball on making a compelling lineup of games for the Wii U in this year it has before the PS4 and the Xbox One come out. There is no new Zelda game on the horizon, Smash Bros. And Bayonetta 2 are not going to be released till 2014. You have to wonder what they were doing with all this time, with the whole year they knew they were going to have, at least, before the new consoles came out. Why did it take so long to get these major AAA games and huge attractions to your console out on the market? And you know why the 3DS is profitable and the Wii U isn't? It's because the 3DS actually has a very good lineup of games. I mean, hell, Pokemon alone will sell that thing. But I really want to see the Wii U succeed, and I think a price drop is going to need to be in order for the Wii U to really compete at all with the new consoles coming out this fall. But I hope I'm wrong, and I hope Nintendo can get it together, but honestly, I would not be surprised if the Wii U was Nintendo's last home console and they shifted all of their focus to the 3DS. Some PS4 versus Xbox One news today. I'm sure by now many of us know that both systems were going to have a built-in video recording device, and today we've gotten some details on what exactly is going to be required to use them. While the Xbox One DVR recording system will require people to have a Xbox Live Gold subscription in order to use it, the PlayStation's will not. Without a PlayStation Plus membership, you will also be able to stream on your PS4, but you will not be able to use all of the functions that sharing would allow if you had a PlayStation Plus subscription. So details like this have been trickling out over the last few months since E3, including the fact that the Xbox has seen a GPU clock speed upgrade from 800 MHz to 853 MHz, not a huge boost, but it is something. Gamescom is coming up in this month, so we will hopefully see a bit of a resurgence in a last effort from Sony and Microsoft to get the console wars going once again, and we'll see who comes out on top. As for the actual video recording features, I record all of my videos externally on an HD PVR, so it doesn't really matter a whole lot to me, but I am glad to know that the streaming is not going to be PlayStation Plus required for Sony. Hopefully we will have much more to talk about come Gamescom, where both Sony and Microsoft will just throw everything they have left out on the table, and we'll have much more to talk about before the consoles hit the market. Left 4 Dead 3, as well as Source Engine 2, may have just been leaked following a picture that emerged on the internet from someone who apparently was at the International 3 and got a tour of Valve's office. I'll leave a link in the description to an article where you can see the picture for yourself, but if this is confirmation of Left 4 Dead 3, then we may finally be able to confirm that Gabe Newell can count to 3. But in all seriousness, until this is officially revealed, which will hopefully be at Gamescom, I'm not really going to take it as legit just because Valve has got such a strict policy of absolute silence on anything unconfirmed. And as much as I would love Left 4 Dead 3 or even Portal 3, why is it taking so long to just get something out on Half-Life? Like, I know it's been talked about to death, and it doesn't even have to be Half-Life 3. Like, I just want to go back to the world of Half-Life. Like, can we please get back to this franchise? It's been like, what, when did episode 2 come out? Like 7 years ago now? But whatever, I guess it's great news if you're a Left 4 Dead fan. It's just a shame that I'm not one of them. I mean, of all of the franchises Valve does, Left 4 Dead is probably my least favorite, but that doesn't mean it's bad, it's just not my taste, I suppose. I'm kind of zombied out at this point. Like I said, hopefully at Gamescom, Valve will make some kind of confirmation about this or talk about the future, because they were absent at E3. Really hoping we can get some word out on this. And to wrap up today's news, we all know by now that Saints Row 4 is right on the horizon, and it's a franchise that has become really well known for its completely over-the-top antics in-game, but that's now translating to the pre-orders apparently. Deep Silver has announced that there is now a one single $1 million edition of the game that you can pre-order at the European games retailer called Game. Entitled the Super Dangerous Wad Wad Edition, this version of Saints Row 4 will, as I said, run you $1 million and will get you a trip to Dubai for a week, plastic surgery, shopping spree, Toyota Prius, Lamborghini, a space flight with Virgin Galactic, tons and tons of just ridiculous stuff. And this is really cool, and I'm kind of wondering if we're starting to see this as being a marketing trend for a lot of these games, including some crazy, ridiculously expensive pre-order edition of the game that really no one is going to buy, but it is great marketing for your game. And I think that's kind of what Deep Silver is doing. Like, I think they really don't want people to buy this. Like, there's a bunch of disclaimers on it to say, like, Deep Silver has the right to change any of the terms at any time, and any decision they make regarding the package is final. But if someone does actually buy this thing, that's a story I'm going to try and follow as much as I can, because I really want to see if it was worth the $1 million. And honestly, who's going to have over $1 million and be senseless enough to actually, like, be willing to spend it on something as trivial as this? Alright guys, that wraps up this episode of JayTalk News. Thank you very much for watching as always, and if you have any opinions on the stories that I talked about today, please comment them or video response them, whatever. If you liked this video, you can also check out my channel for some of my other content. I do various stuff, and I know it's been kind of slow over the last couple months in terms of reviews, which are kind of like the thing I try to focus on the most, but there really hasn't been very many games coming out that I actually would buy and want to review. But there is going to be a lot of stuff coming out over the next 6 weeks, including Payday 2, Killzone Mercenary, and GTA 5, so look for those in the coming weeks. Alright, so once again, thank you very much for watching. My name has been JayTalk, and I hope you have a good one.